us at football there, it's irreplaceable. Because it can't happen again. We can't win a major trophy for the first time again. And okay, that's putting it a bit negatively, but to actually do that was an incredible feeling for our team. And of course, what's happened now, moving on to this for a moment,
Yeah.
UEFA have chucked us out of the Europa Cup. Did you see
Oh,
that?
no, I haven't
They made
seen.
their decision because, and now Nottingham Forest, instead of being in the conference,
Yeah.
they are now taken Palace's place in the Europa Cup, the winners of which will go into the Champions League.
Oh,
And Palace have got the conference, which they've got to qualify for. There's an away and a home leg of a qualifying game. So if they didn't
oh,
win that, then Palace won't even be in Europe. Now, this has never happened to an English club before. I
no.
mean, naturally, Palace, the owners, etc., are furious. Steve Parish has said has never even had, in all his years there, goes back to
Yeah.
2010. He's never even had an email or contact with UEFA at all. Our clubs don't really have liaisons, especially if they haven't been in the competitions. But now, all of a sudden, because of nothing, it's outside of the players' control and the club's control. Really, this guy hadn't sold his shares, or he's got interests at Lyon as well as Palace, although he said he'd sold his shares at Palace.
Yeah.
Now they've been thrown out. Now, of course, Palace are appealing, and I
Yeah.
guess that appeal would go quickly because otherwise, they need to sort the dates of these games out. But
Yeah.
it's a horrible down thing. It brought people down. We won the FA Cup, brilliant day, and got into Europe in a competition that if we did do well, which Tottenham, who had a bad
Yeah.
season, won last season, we'd get into the Champions League. Now, it may be a pipe dream, but the chance was there. As it
Yeah.
is, we may not even qualify. If it's a beginning of the season, a bad day you can have as a team, we don't beat the qualifying round, then we're
Yeah.
not, we all that joy about going into Europe and visiting some of these places in Europe is potentially gone. So anyway, that's a real downer for Palace
It
fans,
is.
and I
It
hope
is.
the appeal succeeds. My gut feeling is that it won't, because they've put things in place now. It's taken ages to make this decision. So yeah, not very happy. And there was a big demonstration by Palace fans. I wasn't there myself, but
Yeah.
um, yesterday or the day before, probably on Sunday, possibly, thousands of people walking around the ground with placards about UEFA,
Mm.
hoping that they'll change their mind. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they will. Just seems very unfair,
It
not
is
least
unfair.
on the fans themselves.
It is unfair because you want it fair and you
Fair
know
and square.
fair
Yeah,
and square. Yeah, you want it fair and square, and now you're being made to not appear in it because
yeah.
of some businessman that's decided to invest in two separate clubs. Now, what I was thinking about that is, could he not just been fined? Could they just not just levy a fine on Palace and just
Yeah, but you
yeah,
think they could have done that because there's been a
yeah,
lot. I mean, they were due to give this decision a couple of months ago, I think, and
yeah,
it's happened to other teams, and someone else put their shares of another club because the same thing would have arisen a few months ago. They put their shares in a holding company, and somehow that saved the day. But it just seems it is something not right about this.
yeah,
This investor, John Textor, an American, he
yeah,
he had 45% stake at Palace, but he
right.
said he sold these shares. I forget to whom, but a couple of months ago. A couple of months ago, but then the Premier League were told don't ratify that. They had to ratify it
Mm,
until UEFA have made their decision. Now, that was the wrong way round. If that was ratified, then he wouldn't have had the interest in Palace anyway. But yes, he's got an interest in Lyon, who were relegated because of basically irregularities in their financial situation as well.
Yeah.
But with this decision, they've now been put back in their league
Oh,
above, which I think is
right.
their like second tier. So
Yeah.
they've now gone back into the Europa Cup. So Palace have had to be kicked out of it. So I'd be surprised if they undo this. I hope they do, but no. Again, I don't know about John Textor. He may be a perfectly legitimate football guy, but you get the feeling that a lot of these people, they invest in these clubs for the financial side. They can make
Yeah.
money. I think he owns a club in America as well. I think he has an interest there. So this
Yeah.
is what happens through no fault of the fans at all. But there we are. We'll see what happens. Maybe luck will be on our side and we get reinstated.
Well, I hope so. I really, really do hope so because, it's a shame because you want it fair and square, and and
Yeah,
and the and the boys they really worked hard for it, and the fans they backed it. The
mm,
fans, it's a disappointment to the fans because
it really is.
they really did put a lot of investment into it because these
Yeah,
football clubs, it's the fans that run it actually because the fans are the ones that would go to these games and support it and buy the
yeah,
merchandise and everything, so I hope, I seriously hope that it gets overturned like you said, and they do the right thing because this is injustice. It is
it is.
injustice. I mean, I'm not even a Palace fan, but I feel it. I feel the injustice
Yeah.
that is being done there because yeah, it's just not right. It's just not right. Yeah, so I think we got about 2 minutes. I was just going to talk about Marcus Rashford to Liverpool. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's not happened yet, has it? I mean, there's talk about that might happen.
Yeah,
I don't think it will happen. I think, as I've said many times, I think on his day he's a brilliant footballer. But
yeah,
I think there's a sense in which what with his there's a kind of baggage around him, isn't there, that
yeah,
seems to be putting off other clubs. I'm sure he'll find someone will take him, and he may well be a good acquisition. But in one sense, he's a bit damaged goods, and that's not meant to be a personal insult. He's a good footballer, and I think his heart, politically, shall we say, was in the right place with the free meals and all that stuff, free meals for school.
mm,
But he probably shouldn't have got involved in stuff like that. So I think there's something there which other clubs are holding back on, and I would be surprised if Liverpool, in their new players that they're bringing in, would take a risk with somebody who might not fulfil what you want them to do. So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't think that will happen. I could be
yeah.
wrong.
Well, we could be wrong as well, but yeah. Well, we wish him the best, don't we? We wish him the
Of
best in
course.
yeah, we
Yeah.
wish him the best in his career, and we hope that he finds a good home. This is all we've got time for. You've been watching and listening to the Football Referee um, with myself, Emmy Hikins, and he calls me Cos.
You nearly got it wrong. And me, Trevor Gear, and he calls me bro. We'll see you next week.
All right,
Bye
see
bye
you
for
next
now.
week. All right, it's a goodbye from me. Oh, yeah. Okay,
But
so.